Purpose Chasers. Welcome back to my channel. In my last video, I did tell you guys that I would talk about forgiveness in my next video. So let's talk. Before we start, I need you guys to go ahead and subscribe, like this video, share this video. Also, make sure you click that bell button so that you'll get notifications whenever I post a video. So let's talk about forgiveness, holding grudges, and building up that bitterness inside due to the anger that you've actually built up over the years. So a lot of us have been hurt, right? We've been hurt by words, by actions, by someone that's close to us. We've definitely been hurt by, somebody, definitely. But it's not easy for everyone to just let it go. Some of us need a lot of help. Some of us need a push. Some of us need to talk. Some of us need to scream, holler, kick something. And someone needs to, sometimes some of us just need that extra, push to, breathe, or to not necessarily forget about it, but just to, okay, it's time for me to actually let this go. So a lot of us have been maybe criticized, called names when we were growing up. There are spouses that have been cheated on. There's also maybe sexual, emotional, physical abuse. All these things can cause trauma. And then eventually, if you don't get the help you need at that moment, at that point where you know that you're angry or something has happened to you, the anger starts to build up, right? Then that's when the animosity comes, and all of a sudden you want to, you want revenge on these people, and you get so built up and worked up, and the anger builds up so much to the point where you even seek vengeance against someone and don't realize that you're actually hurting yourself, and that person has actually moved on with their life. So there's things that you just have to consider when it comes to forgiving people. One thing is a lot of people feel like forgiving someone is letting them off the hook. You're letting them off the hook. You are, they just didn't do whatever it is that they did to you. No, that's not what forgiveness is. You're not letting them off the hook. You are not forgetting about whatever they did to you. You're not all of a sudden trusting them. So you have to understand what forgiveness is not, and it's not any of those things. What forgiveness is a process. It's not something, again, like I said, that a lot of people can just let go of. There are certain things that have happened to you, and some things you've actually blamed yourself for. You feel like that's actually your fault that it happened to you, or we start to question ourselves. What's wrong with me, and what did I do to deserve this, right? And so that's where the anger comes. Okay, what is wrong with me? And you're looking in the mirror like, okay, there's nothing wrong with me. A lot of people who are mature and have grown can actually point the finger at themselves. Okay, if this person or more than one person feels the same way about me or have done the same thing to me, then it must be me. Let me take a step back. Let me figure things out, and figure out if it's me or if it's just them. And then when you take that step back and when you realize, okay, hold on, it's not me, so what's the problem? You start to question yourself. What is the problem? And because you can't find the problem, you really think that there is a problem and there's something wrong with you. No, not always. Sometimes a person just does what they do because that's just who they are, and they just feel like they can do whatever they want to you. And so you have to understand that forgiving someone is for you. Always. It is always for you. You are actually giving that person the power over your mind and over your life. The more you think about it, every morning you're thinking about what they did to you. All throughout the day, you're thinking about what happened to you. You're steady asking this question, why did it have to happen? So I'm going to give you a secret. One way to forgive is to switch it around. That doesn't have to be your story, right? You don't have to continuously claim that story. Okay, it happened. I get it. And it wasn't right. It hurt you. It was terrible. It was bad. But now it's time to change your story, especially if it happened 20, 30 years ago. It's time for you to change your story so you can move on with your life and live a happy, successful, wonderful life. You are allowing what happened to you control your life. So let me give you some tips on how to forgive. The first step is to forgive yourself, right? So just like you can't love someone without loving yourself, you can't forgive a person without forgiving yourself. Remember, you're human. Absolutely no one on this earth is perfect. And if someone tells you that, they're lying. That no one on this earth is perfect. I don't care how saved, sanctified, and filled with the Holy Ghost they are. No one is perfect, no matter how much they try. You are human all the way. And I don't care what anyone says. Don't allow anyone to push you down, to bring you down, talk negative about whatever it is that you did. That's part of life. You are human and you're going to make mistakes forever, all the time. So forgive yourself is the first step that you have to do. Forgive yourself for building up all this anger. Forgive yourself for allowing what happened to you, run your life. And now you think that it's too late for you to start all over. It's never too late at all. Forgive yourself first. Step number 2, and this is everything that I'm telling you, this is all from experience. So the second step is if this person is still here and still alive, and you really just need to get off your chest what, happened to you, how they made you feel, then you need to contact that person. Let them know how you feel. Now, this is only if a person allows you to tell them how you feel. There are a lot of people who just can't take what they did to you and just sit there and listen. They have some type of excuse. Well, I was young at the time, or, you don't know what I was going through. You don't know this, or whatever it is that they was going through. They feel like they have to defend themselves. So if this person allows you to sit down with them and express yourself and they listen to you, that right there that's called growth on their part, because they're able to listen to you. Second, they must care enough about you to listen to you and not make up excuses of what it is that they did to you. So find that person. If you can, talk to them and express to them how they made you feel and, what it did to you. Great. If that person is no longer here, or if you can't find that person, or if that person just won't allow you to express yourself and tell them how you feel, then write a letter. That's what I did. I was 9 when what happened to me, and nothing was done. I grew up in a religious home, no spirituality like whatsoever, and all religion, all church, but everything was swept up under the rug, because as Black people, we don't tell strangers our secrets. We don't have to tell everybody. We'll just pray about it, right? And so a lot of anger built up inside of me. And I'm only 9. I have no idea why I'm mad. I have no idea why I'm angry. I don't know what's going on with me. And as I begin to, get older, people just claim, oh, she's just this typical teenager. Side note, parents, pay attention to your children's behaviors. They're good one day. Now, all of a sudden, you think because they're teenagers that they're acting a certain way. No. Listen to your children. Seriously, especially if your child tells you that they're depressed, listen to them. Don't take that as a joke, and don't take it as, oh, you're not depressed, you just don't want to go to school, or you're not depressed, you just don't want to do this. Listen to them. It's not a joke. It's not funny. It is a serious situation. They want you to listen to them. This suicide, oh my gosh, it's at an all-time high, because I feel like these young people feel like they don't have anyone to pay attention to them or to listen to them. You think because they're young that they can't be depressed. They definitely can be depressed. I think I was depressed. I just had no idea what depression was. And I'm just thinking I'm just this bad kid, because that's what I've been told. I'm being told I'm disrespectful. I'm a spoiled little brat. I have no respect, which I didn't. But no one asked me, what's wrong? No one thought to ask me, did something happen? at all. No one paid any attention at all. So make sure you pay attention to your children. Make sure you pay attention to their, their habits. Pay attention to how things start to change. You know that your child is a good child, but now all of a sudden they start getting smart a little bit. They start to act kind of different. Pay attention to that. And so I was, like I said, I was 9 years old. I decided to write my mom is gone. My grandfather is gone. So I just decided to write them both a letter about how I feel. My grandmother is still alive. Man, I'm glad somebody is, where I can forgive and just let things go. And so it's hard for you to express yourself to a person that's no longer here. So write a letter about, how you feel. Write it on paper. I don't cuss, but hey, that's exactly what I wrote in my letters. It was some crazy words in there. Like, that's just how angry I was. But if, write it on some paper, and I don't know what you have to do with it. I burned mine, and that was it. However you feel like you want to do, maybe put it away, or, I don't know, let it flow down the river or something like that. But just put it, on paper. A journal is very, very good for you to write down all your issues, all your problems, anything that's on your mind. You need to put it in a journal, not social media. So that's a great step to take. Also, a great thing to do is to meditate. I meditate all the time. I mean, it doesn't even take long. Learn how to practice mindfulness. Mindfulness is realizing that you're breathing. Breathe in, breathe out. We go all day long, and I bet you a lot of you don't even pay attention to the fact that you're actually breathing. It's a technique where you just focus on the breath, focused on breathing. And even though your mind might wander off somewhere else, like, what in the world am I going to cook? Okay, without any judgment, don't judge yourself. Okay, focus back to the breathing. Those are techniques that definitely help with a lot of, with forgiveness and with, building your mental health. That's one thing that you want to do. You want to make sure that your mental health is intact. And holding a grudge and being bitter and angry about something that happened a long time ago, even if it happened last week, listen, you have time to right now, while you have the time. If that person didn't get shot, hit by a drunk driver, or just die suddenly and they're still here, I suggest you go to that person and sit down with them, hash it all out. Now, you don't have to be friends with certain people. If you want to be friends with them or you want to rebuild the relationship, great. But if not, sit down, talk to them, let it go, hash it out. They go about their life, you go about yours. But at least when you see each other, you can be cordial, and that thought won't come back to your mind of whatever it is that they did to you. You can live peacefully and happily. All right. So those are the steps that I took when it came to, forgiving my family, for sweeping my situation under the rug. That was the only time I actually held a grudge, and I don't know how to hold them anymore. I'm good on holding grudges. I don't care what we did. I don't care if I got into it with someone last week. I am inboxing you, I'm texting you something so we can get this done and over with. People are dying left and right. I don't care how healthy you are. I don't care how much you exercise. I do not care. It doesn't make a difference what you're doing with your life. I don't care, again, how saved, sanctified, and filled with the Holy Ghost you are. People are crazy. You could be shot in a crossfire. You can be hit by a drunk driver. You can be traveling and living your best life. And what happens to the plane? So you don't know how you're going to go. You don't know when you're going to go. And so stop taking time for granted. You don't have time. Like, while you have the moment and the time right now, I suggest you get things right with whoever you need to get it right with, and move on with your life. Live every single moment, every single day like it's your last day to live. So I just wanted to come to you guys with that video. And yeah, if you have any questions, and I always tell you guys, make sure you critique my video, please. I just want to get better and better at this. I am not good at speaking, but I do have a story and I have something to say. So critique my video. Let me know what I need to work on, whatever it is. You know, you guys have any suggestions? If you need me to, you know, talk on a certain subject, let me know. Inbox me, DM me. I will post all of my information in the description box below. And I want to thank you guys for watching. Have a good night. Thank you. Bye.